2 own goals from Fulham means it's Burnley 2, Fulham 1. Let's get some views from the fans. 2-1 Burnley, but we've scored all 3 goals.
You expect to win when you score all 3 goals, don't you? Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit disappointed, to be fair. Voice has gone too much shouting, but after that, I mean, that's not a Fulham team. I mean, I've supported Fulham, same as you boys, since I was 6 years old. I'm so passionate about my team. That ain't Fulham. That ain't the team we fell in love with, is it? Do you know what I mean? They're crumbling under pressure. What more is there going to take? Do you know what I mean? In my honest opinion, I love Slav. I don't think he should have gone. I think nothing's changed, has it? What's next? Do you know what I mean?
It's the fact that we went 1-0 up and Burnley put on the pressure, and it's 2 own goals. They haven't actually created the chance themselves only by putting the balls in the box, so we've literally put them in for them. That's the most frustrating thing about the whole thing. And
it's also frustrating because I stuck 20 quid on Fulham to win 3-1, so do you know what I mean? That nearly swore. Yeah. I was a bit gutted about that, but that ain't Fulham, do you know what I mean? That ain't the team we fell in love with. But like I said, we've hit rock bottom at the moment. I thought we hit rock bottom last week when we lost the game at Oldham. What's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, we're down, but I'd like to see a bit of fight. I would like to see fight. You know, you play for the badge at the front. You remember the name at the back. But it ain't good, man. It ain't good.
And Spurs away, Spurs at home next. That's just going to be.
No. We'll win that. We'll win that. Do you know what I mean? We'll be all over that. Spurs at home, yeah. We'll take liberties there. No, do you know what? We've got a hard run in. Like I said, a lot of people who I've chatted to, they went, "Oh, Magic, what, you know, like this." It ain't it. We had to win that today, and we didn't. That was the biggest. Yeah, cheers, Dad. Cheers, Dad.
Yeah, everyone's upset.
No, it is, but we had to win that today, and that is really bad because look at the teams we got coming up. It's going to be. Do you know what I mean?
Shit. Yeah. Honestly, it is. The whole thing we lost from last season where we used our width when we played forward, nothing was there today. The only person going like width is Christie, but even then he gets the ball and we've got no one helping him. We get the ball, we go forward and there's no one helping them. There's no one running off the ball. There's no emphasis. Surrey playing 90 minutes to me today was shit. I don't see how he played 90 minutes. And taking Cess off.
We're fucking shit. We're fucking
No one's happy, is they? Everyone's
taking Cess off of Vieto was terrible. But I'm Fulham till I die.
Yeah, no.
I'm Fulham till I die.
No, we've got to just stick together, and obviously we've got a hard run of fixtures coming up as well. It's tricky, isn't it?
This is the one we needed to win, mate. This is the one we needed to win, and we couldn't do that. We've got tough games coming up, man, and.
It's January. We could sign someone, but still.
If we're going to sign someone, we should sign him now. We should have got Cahill. If we're linked with Cahill, Drinkwater, and Moses, we're going to get him. We should have got him in for today. Do you know what I mean?
It's really upsetting.
Mawson being out, our defence is nowhere. And yeah, that's basically it, mate. Shit.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's the middle of January. There's train strikes. We've watched that shit, and the manager goes straight down the tunnel.
Did he walk straight down the tunnel?
He walked straight down the tunnel. Did not come over to the players, to the fans. Only one player came on and apologised to the fans. That was Mitrovic.
It's upsetting, isn't it? It's just been 2 own goals. You can't really help it.
2 own goals, but you at least expect your manager to come and thank your fans for travelling. When it's the middle of January, everyone's skint after Christmas.
Worst thing about that is that the fans had to there's no trains coming up to this fucking place, and we've had to get coaches down there.
And can I say, the club didn't help get the coaches, the fans did.
The fans got the coaches on Facebook.
You know,
big up the fans. No, don't worry, man. Have a good one. Yeah, Creed, do you want to come in? I mean, the fans put on the coaches. The club didn't do really anything about it. We're in January. We haven't signed anyone yet. It's a bit of a nightmare.
Jack, 5 years ago, right? The Khans came in and they spent fuck all. But we had 3 different managers and we were like, fine, that's exciting. However, our best player of the season was Sidwell. However, back then, 5 years ago or 4 years ago, 13, 14, I had a lot more hope that we'd stay up. And I not secretly, I said this to a few mates, I said, I'm going to screenshot all these fans saying we're down after we lost to Cardiff 2-1 when Jordan March scored that 92nd minute.
It's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I screenshotted a lot of shit and I was like, why the fuck does everyone think we're down?
That was 5 games into the season.
Exactly. And we get to now, this is what's happened. Liverpool are challenging for top, QPR are challenging for playoffs, and we're now challenged to stay up with Cardiff. What's changed? That was exactly the same 5 years ago. Today, do you know what? Renario Savisa, do you know what's changed? The players don't give a shit.
No.
Tactics or not, you can play in a 5-3-2, you can play with wingers, you can play with a really good squad. Leicester's team, where Ranieri won the league, versus our team at the start of the season. Do not tell me, player for player, that Leicester team that Ranieri won the league with would be better on paper than our Fulham team at the start.
It's not that necessarily Leicester were better than us. They are just as good as us, but they just cared more and they had more of a fighting spirit and a team spirit.
You want to talk about I fucking hate talking about this. The Burnley, the Brighton, and the Bournemouth all came up. What's the fucking difference between them and Fulham? They have a back four. They have managers that care about defence, and they put on the counter. I don't know what Fulham's playing style is. Savisa tried it with the nice football, and I feel sorry for him because clearly he didn't want those players. I honestly missed our goal. Apparently Schürrle scored a banger. Yeah. What a fucking difference. He scores a banger and then disappears for the next fucking 85 minutes.
It reminded me of Cardiff away when we scored early and then conceded two.
Why does Schürrle do this all the time? I said this at Cardiff, that he scores a banger and then misses out for the next fucking game. I like Schürrle, but he'll go at the end of the season. But he owes it to Fulham to fucking stay.
Before the game, I was thinking these are the days that we turn up for, coming to places we would never come to, especially outside of London. We're here with our friends. We come for a bit of drink, hang out with the people that we don't usually hang around with. Sorry, mate. And we come to places that we wouldn't normally come to. We go to the Burnley Cricket Club. It's cheap booze, which is very, very nice. We come here everyone's very friendly and everything, and we're very excited to be here. And we're all ready and up for the game, and then unfortunately the players don't feel that same way. Maybe we should show them around the Burnley Cricket Club beforehand and realise what stuff that we go through to come and support this team, and yet, you don't feel that when the players coming over. Maybe those odds and sods players that come on that do those kind of jobs that you would expect the fans to do those things as well, but it just doesn't feel that way, does it?
We created chances though, that's the thing. We created more chances than Burnley, but Burnley have scored 2. In fact, Burnley haven't scored 2. We've scored 3 and they've scored none. I don't understand. I genuinely cannot believe that we've lost.
Well, that's why you're the one that's asking the questions, isn't it? Burnley, we know what Sean Dyche is like. He builds very sort of organised teams, and you can see that when the ball goes over to the one side of the field, their whole team filters over, and then it's the same way that when the players come over the other side, they're all going like that other side. They're all very organised. In the first half, they had. They played kind of a 4-4-2 system, but their 3 attacking players really pushed up on us to stop us playing out from the back, and that really stifled us because everything that Fulham had was playing it up top, and we just couldn't get anything from it. And that kind of showed that. At least Ranieri recognised it in the half time and decided to bring on Vietto, although Vietto's not exactly the most of the Fulham favourites, shall we say. But at least it kind of changed the game a little bit. We tried to move it in and out. We weren't just trying to get it out wide and play crosses in just for Mitrovic, who tried his heart out to feed off scraps, and there was nothing for him. And fair play to him to coming over to the fans at the end, but it just wasn't enough, was it?
It's raining, it's pouring, and Burnley's football is boring.
Agreed. Yeah, they were pretty terrible. But the first half, once we scored, you kind of wanted to see us take the initiative a bit. But then we sat off, and unbelievably, 10 or 15 minutes later, they were 2-1 up. And, sorry.
Within 3 minutes, we've scored 2 own goals, but not only 2 own goals, 2 identical own goals. Crosses in from the left-hand side, right-hand side, and then we're 2-1 down. How do we adapt to that?
To be honest, I don't know. But I think the problem in the first half we had, which we changed in the second half, was that Rico is a brilliant keeper, but we were lumping the ball up to Mitrovic, trying to expect him to kind of chest the ball down and then look for an option, which was never working because he would always lose out because there were always 2 Burnley defenders on him. And once we started passing it out from the back and kind of trying to play our way up the pitch, we were much more successful. And Burnley really, we outplayed Burnley in the second half in terms of possession. We couldn't convert that into chances. But in the first half, we were trying to kind of play them at their own game, which wasn't really working at all.
Burnley pride themselves on just a solid defence, and once they go in front, they're very hard to get back. And when we took the lead, I was thinking, brilliant, this is a chance because we could just shut them out now. But Burnley obviously got their 2 own goals, and from there it was an uphill task.
I think to his credit, I think when Vietto came on, he actually did play quite well. I think people were wondering why he made the substitution, but he had that shot that was parried away by Heaton, the shot which was cleared off the line, which he probably should score, but at least he's in that position to score, and a brilliant cross from the right, which no one gets on the end of. I mean, Mitrovic had a tough job all day, but someone should have been on the end of that. And Kearney did look encouraging on the counter-attack when he came on, but I think we should try and play out against teams that are around us on the table. Burnley, Huddersfield, Newcastle, if we've got them again, I can't remember. But
I know we've got one more,
against those sort of teams, we need to revert to that possession style because we can outplay teams that way. Whereas against the big teams, okay, fair enough, we're probably going to lose either way, whatever we do. But we need to be a bit more ambitious and kind of take the initiative against teams that we should be beating rather than just lumping up the field and hoping we'll feed off scraps, because we won't.
And finally, Tottenham at home next. This is tricky, isn't it? Very tricky.
Well, they don't have Song Heung-min, I don't think.
No, they don't. That's
but
true.
I mean, they have a lot of other good players. But
can we shock them?
I mean, you can always do anything. But I always think a point is a possibility in any game.
But today
I'm not sure. I don't think it'll happen. I think we'll lose. I think February's the key month for us because even though we haven't won away, we've got 3 winnable games. They're winnable, but we haven't won. Yeah. And I think if we're still in the relegation zone by that point, you have to say we're down because of the horrendous march that we have ahead of us. And yeah, it's pretty doom and gloom, to be honest.
Happy days. Well. Happy days. Thanks very much. 0 shots on target from Burnley, I think, in that game. They somehow won 2-1. Joe Bryan and Dennis Adoy both put in shots into their own net after a really, really good goal from Charlotte early on, and the pyro went off and everyone was happy and it was a good time. And we puffed, we couldn't break down that Burnley team that are so good at the back when they go into the lead, and that's always an issue. We move on to Spurs at home. It's very depressing, it's raining and it's not very fun to be here. The trains were rail strikes, just wasn't very fun. But look, this is what we do, we love the club and this is why we're up here every week doing what we do. Tottenham at home next. Let's hope we can keep Harry Kane quiet and co. We'll see you for that. Come on, Fulham.